I
Okay,
might have downloaded the wrong HUD.
you guys are live right now. Okay, so we're live. Go for it.
Alright, after a bit of technical difficulties, guys, we finally found a way to start streaming. So, currently, a minute 50 left in qualifying. Rohe, currently on pole position, he is the only driver to have done a 55.8. Scooby is currently second with a 56.1, with the bus, aka Tim Style, in third with 56.4. So pretty close between the top three. Slushy Cat right behind with a 57. So a lot of people on the server, Jake, have done 55 and 56 prior. But as you can see, when it comes down to the actual qualifying session, when the pressure is on, it's a whole different ball game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. I've been in this situation many times before, and that is it just gets on your nerves. Actually, it's
because the thing is, when you do it in a session like this, all of a sudden, whatever you've done before, when you had the luxury of doing it, not around all the fast people and without any pressure, now it's on. I mean, with all the traffic, you can most likely get only 2 or 3 laps, and yeah, so now you can really see what's happening. So yeah, Rohe is still the only driver on a 55.8. I'm looking at the sector times currently. No one is really coming close to it at the moment. So we'll see what happens. Currently, Scooby, though, is up 2/10 on his previous lap. So let's see if Scooby can hold it together all the way to the middle sector. He's lost half a second in the middle sector, though, to Rohe. He was about 10th and a half up, so he's gonna need the mighty final sector here to try and nab pole position. Slushy Cat currently is improving by about a second, so she should go somewhere in the region of a low 56, so she can challenge for a front row, but I honestly cannot see her getting pole position at the moment.
I'll tell you what though, Rohe around in Monza is very confident because
I really don't know how many kilometers he's done here. I really would love to check his content manager to find out exactly how many laps he's done. So if it would be possible to go on board with Rohe right now to see what he's up to, as Thomas Frank has gone into third place in the McLaren. As you can see, Jake, the McLarens are really quick here this weekend.
Yeah, that is true. As I said previously on the last live stream, the McLarens are really a dominant car. I've tried it for myself as well. You can brake later than the other cars.
Yeah, the McLaren is a really, really quick car. So currently we're in overtime, so Rohe should have pole position secured, but you never know what can happen. But I'm looking at the sector times currently. The only person who's up is Cassidy. He was half a second up on his previous lap. It should take him to 57 flat, but it's looking good for Rohe to take pole position in the season opener here, Kenjay. And I'm looking down all the leaderboard now. No one's really making noise to try and really challenge. G, however, is up by 1.6 seconds currently on this given lap. So let's see where this last G. This should slot him into a 56.4, which should put him up near the top 3. So can he make it stick? Let's find out. Thomas Frank is also on a hot lap. He seems to have lost a bit of time through the Ascari chicane. He was 3/10 up. Now he's a 10th down on his previous lap. So it seems as though Thomas Frank will not be improving his time. So I don't want to jinx it, but Rohe is looking good as we finish these last few seconds of overtime, as everyone else crosses. Slushy Cat will be the final driver to cross the finish line. She's currently at 10th up on her previous lap. The sole Aston Martin, I think, is in the top 10. Yeah, she is the only Aston Martin in the top 10. So yeah, pretty interesting. Track temperature is currently at 32 degrees. With an air temperature of 30, Jake. So, what do you think? Does this play into the hands of the McLaren a bit more, or doesn't really matter too much?
Oh, I'd say the McLaren would benefit more actually on this kind of circuit. It's one of those cars that's very agile, and you need that agility to go through these chicanes.
But wouldn't you say that with the temperature slightly hotter, with the track already quite slidey, that the McLaren then might become too slidey, and with the setups being locked, you cannot add in a bit of understeer that might actually help the car?
I'll tell you what. I think it would play. It would depend on the driver and how hard he drives the car and how much grip he's demanding.
Tell you what though, Kenjek, I am looking at the sector times here. The bus is on an absolute flyer right now, and if he can hold this lap together, he's going to be mighty close to Rohe's time. He is absolutely sending it. I saw him send it through the Della Rosa chicane, and Yeah, he's about 6 tenths up on his previous lap, Kendrick, as he goes into the final corner. This will put him neck and neck. It's going to be Rohe versus the bus for
Let's
pole
not jinx
position.
it.
Let's see going into the final corner. Can he hold it together? It's gonna be the bus coming across the line, and no, he's lost time. Yeah, he's lost time during the lap. So I believe the delta may have been broken there, Kendrick, because oh no, he's done
No,
it.
he's
He's
done
on
it,
pole.
yeah. He's on pole.
He's done it by
By
100.
400, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The bus has snapped pole position right at the end from Rohe. And the king of Monza has been dethroned in the last second. It's going to be the bus starting the season opener on pole position. What a lap from the German driver. Incredible. My delta here, Ken Jake, was saying that when bus came off the final corner, it was already a 56. So I thought that the lap was over because pole's 55. But yeah, he got pole position. So incredible drive. And wow,
It might
that's
be
gonna
from, yeah,
that's
it might
gonna,
from the latency, but yeah, congratulations to him.
that's good. We love seeing this, Kenjake, don't we? What? This is incredible competition.
Yeah, very
Really,
much.
really impressive competition. It's the bus, Tim Stahl, German driver. It's his first ever official league race. He was here for the test race last weekend, Kenjake, but this is his first official league race outing, and
Yeah.
he's starting on pole position. But
Things will
Kenjake,
be
I'll tell you
different.
something. Kendrick, can I tell you something? I do not know if I want to be on pole position at Monza. It's kind of like being on pole position at Spa with all the slipstream and the mayhem that can happen at turn one.
Yeah,
But
exactly. It
we'll
just
see.
gives you, it just paints you a big target on your back.
Well, the most important thing to note here, Kendrick, is the race gas penalty is actually turned off. And if you can explain to our viewers what the race gas penalty does, if you are aware, it's actually going to play into the hands of drivers who do choose to cut turn one to avoid an incident. But yeah, I mean, should be interesting. Basically, what the race gas penalty does, guys, if you guys are tuning in, not quite aware what we're talking about, is a lot of times if you take an escape road at turn one or any corner for that matter, a certain courser will ask you to slow it down to a minimum speed or slow down and let the accelerator for X number of seconds. That has been disabled, obviously due to many reasons, because a lot of times it can unfairly penalize someone. So with the race gas penalty turned off, drivers have the authority to cut turn one and not get an instant penalty as long as they give back any advantage that they possibly gain. So that's going to play into the hands of the bus if he does choose to take the escape road at turn one, Kenjay, because it can be a mayhem. And I'll be honest, I have a lot of times considered just cutting turn one and avoiding the mayhem. But let's see. It's going to be the bus on pole position. 20 seconds to go. It's season 7 of league racing here, Kenjay. Are you excited? I tell you what, I certainly am. To all our viewers, thank you for tuning in for season 7. It's our partnership with Caritas and Artito. It's an incredible partnership, and let's get these amazing 10 weeks underway. As the lights will go off shortly, it's going to be the bus on pole position, Rohe alongside him with Scooby, and it's lights out and away we go. And the bus got an incredible start. Then Rohe will have done very well if he can get that second phase of the start going to try and challenge him alongside as we go into turn number 1. But it's going to be the bus leading into turn number 1. Hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen, as they send it, and someone's already on the grass. So, and it's a big crash. That is a big crash.
Big
and
there in the first corner of the first lap.
Yeah, you kind of expected that to be happening. So, that is not ideal, Kenjake. But that was.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I know it's a sim, but for me, it's always important that we should always take care and be safe in the first lap.
That start, Kenjake, really reminded me of the start back in 2011. I would like to say the IRL F1 race. If you remember, it was one of the HRTs on that occasion that was sliding across the grass in the turn 1, and the driver hit some. Yeah, that is what it reminds me of. So this race will be restarted, ladies and gentlemen. So. Yeah, there we go. Let's hope that second time it is lucky. We don't have another incident, but Kenjake, we set it on top of the show. I don't know if pole position is the place to be here, because for some reason in sim racing, no matter how good a drivers you put in here, It always seems to be mayhem, doesn't it? But let's hope the second time around, we don't need the third time is charm. You know what they say about third time's a charm. Let's hope we don't need the third time. Let's hope the second time is good enough. As the six red lights start to go off shortly, and for the second time today, hopefully we can get this race cleanly underway. As it's lights out and away we go once again. The bus will lead them away into turn number 1 with Rohe right alongside him. Does Rohe have a better start? I think that's Naf.
Yeah.
I think Naf's on the grass. He may have had a bit of contact there, but it's going to be the bus leading into turn number 1. Can Rohe hold it around the inside? He's going to have the outside though going into turn number 1. No, it's Scooby who's leading. Scooby got an incredible start. Big mayhem there going into turn 1, but Scooby's got the incredible start. I'm still getting used to all the liveries, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with me.
Fun round.
Oh, there is absolute mayhem. It's not even turn 1. It's continuing all the way. It's just a placebo effect. But it's going to be Scooby who's leading the way with Rohe right behind him. I think the bus may have lost a bit at the start, but I wouldn't count him out just yet. He's kept his nose clean. He's got a big gap behind him. As Rohe, as you can see, lining up for a move into Lesmo 1. Can he make it stick? I think Scooby lets him go. He knows it's a long race. It's just lap 1. 25 minutes of racing. We can expect about 12 laps of racing. But it's going to be Rohe, the Ironwood Jamaican, who takes the lead. Can the Indonesian driver strike back? Not on this occasion. Slipstream, obviously, in these cars, not as existent. And the longer these two battle, is going to be the bus who's going to be closing in. Depulsit had a horrendous start. He had an incredible start, if you remember, Kenjake, on the last one. But on this restart, he's just not had the pace. And I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's just being extra careful around that first corner.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, he did not have the ideal start. Great to see our top two keeping it clean through there. There's going to be Scooby there. He's not going to have enough of a slipstream, so Rohe should have the legs at the end of lap 1. I would like to remind you back to the test race, Kenjay. Sashi Cat pitted on the first lap and ended up winning the race on that occasion. So it's going to be interesting to see if some drivers do opt for that strategy this afternoon on the first and the second race. But at the end of lap 1, Kenjay, it's not a coincidence. Rohe's leading at Monza, but there's a long way to go yet.
I'll tell you what though, these guys shouldn't be battling right now. They should be helping each other pull away from the rest of the pack.
They should be really drafting each other along, because I'll be honest, Kendrick, at the rate I'm seeing stuff right now, the bus does have to. The bus probably is the fastest driver today, so these two should not be running. And there's contact
with each other.
And it's going to be the bus. It's like taking candy from a baby.
Exactly.
Bus has gone from third to first. We called it, Ken.
Rohe again has been spun around by someone else.
Like I said to you, Ken, these two should be they shouldn't be battling. They should have been drafting each other along. It's lap 2 of a 25-minute race of a season opener. Why are they battling so hard? But it's just probably an honest mistake. Scooby may have missed his breaking point. We don't know. But the bus is back where he started, Kenjay. And with the pace he has, I expect him to romp away now.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Scooby should try to at least manage that gap with Tim Stall. We know that the bus is actually the faster driver among the two of them. So you should use it as an advantage.
I don't know if he's all around the faster driver, but on this given afternoon, from what we've seen so far, he definitely does seem to have the pace. But we will see, Kenjake. Let's not forget, Scooby is a grizzled veteran. He knows what he's doing. He's done this many, many times before. He may not have a league championship, but he has won plenty of races and has been around since season 1. Now, one of our most experienced drivers, but we've got a hotshot rookie right in front of him, and he's leading the way as the bus is getting a bit creative there with his racing lines. So you may have to have a look at that post-race, but
I'm not a big fan of extending the track there.
Yeah, Scooby though is keeping him honest, Kendrick. Like I said, I wouldn't be so confident just yet. He may have the natural pace advantage, but as we know from a lot of the races in the past, Kendrick, qualifying is one thing. The races are completely another whole different ballgame. So we'll see how this all pans out. But at the end of lap 2, Kendrick, Scooby once again is in second place, but the driver in front of him is not Rohe. Rohe's gone all the way to the back. It's the bus.
Yeah,
so, but obviously, we do have to remember that we are probably there's probably a post-race penalty coming the way of Scooby after that. So if he wants to,
he might just need to pull away from the pack instead.
Yeah, his best bet right now is probably going to be
at the back once again. I can see people spinning around on the map.
Yeah, I can see 2 people that's probably spun. Was that? I'm trying to have a look at it closely. It's G and Clyde. Yeah, Clyde, one of the Filipino drivers, and G, the Australian. They've caught up in a bit of a mangle. They're not ideal for those two. I had a feeling because I was looking at the live timing and I saw both of them having a bit of a moment. But let's just go back to that battle between Scooby and Tim, because Scooby was 3/10 faster, and there you go, he's taken the lead. So I was looking at the sector times, and Scooby was 3/10 up in the first sector, more than 3/10, almost 4/10 up, which makes me think that the bus may have had a moment, or he may have had a horrendous exit to turn one, because sector one is basically just one corner. Now Scooby, all he has to do is rump away, but the bus should use some IQ here. He knows that Scooby's got at least a 5-second penalty, maybe more coming his way. I would like to say a 10-second time penalty, because that's a major incident, Ken Jake. So the bus can just afford to chill. I can expect him to lose 10 seconds over the next 19 minutes. So let's see what happens. He's got a big gap behind him. He's got no pressure. He needs to just keep his head and use his head here and just stay within 10 seconds, and he should still be winning the season opener. Long way to go yet, though.
Yeah, if I was him, I would stick at the back of Scooby if he's pulling away from the pack. I would use that toe to my benefit.
Absolutely, just use that toe. You can also use the toe, Ken Jake, to save some fuel.
Exactly.
You know, when you're the car behind, you know, you're not the one punching the hole through the air, so you can afford to let off the gas ever so slightly and save a bit of fuel. And as we know from the test races we did last weekend, Ken Jake, that refueling time has a big factor. I mean, fuel pace is one thing, but pit strategy is also another. So, you know, if he can manage to, if anyone can manage to save a bit of fuel, and we know from past seasons, Ken Jake, someone who's really good at that, as much as you would probably like to admit, is He's actually really good at saving fuel. So let's see how it turns out in regards to her, because she's obviously down the pack. I have a feeling that she probably pitted quite early with her strategy, or because I don't know. The live timing does not show us who has pitted yet or who hasn't. So it's a bit dark and gloom as to who's pitted, but. What I can update you right about now is this is pretty much the closest battle on the track, and as it happens is these are also the two that are leading the way currently. Cassini is currently in third, with G still finding a way up in fourth, so he may have just had a bit of a moment in turn number one, but he's kept it nice and clean, so he's still in fourth. He's chasing down CD quite strongly. North Sam is in fifth, with Bradley Martins in sixth. So Sashikat has dropped down to 8th, with Sergio Verismo in 7th. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Long way to go yet, but Rohe currently, Ken Jake, is down in 16th. All that. So not ideal for him.
Not ideal, and not the dream start that you would have hoped for, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
accidents happen, and I think another one is about to happen as Tim I think hits the back of Scooby.
Oh dear, like I said to you, Ken Jake, all he had to do was keep it clean. All he had to do was keep it within 10 seconds. And he's probably lost more. He's lost so much time doing that. So Scooby now, he's gonna have. I think Sergio Verismo may have had a bit of a moment there.
Maybe G would have a go at Cassidy.
Yeah. So.
And here we go. We might be going around the outside at Parabolica.
It seems as though, Ken Jake, someone had a brake failure back in the pack. Thomas Frank may have had a brake failure, and he may have taken out multiple drivers. And Sergio Verismo may be one of them, Naf might be one of them, but yeah, I think someone at the back had a brake failure, so not ideal. That's why probably a lot of people have left the server as a result, but that's unfortunate.
Yeah, again, things like this happen, things that are uncertain, and things that we really can't do anything about. It really does happen.
Yeah. Definitely. Lemonade is retiring from the race. He's having connection issues, so fair play to him. He's not trying to be a hazard on the track with all the issues he's having, so a very mature decision from him to give up that place, but give up his place in the race today. Yeah. Anyways, back to the battle for the lead. It's 10 seconds between the bus and Scooby. That gap is actually continuing to grow ever so slightly. So, yeah, not ideal. Not ideal at all, but long way to go yet. But
I want to mention about the wildcard in this race. G is on third place.
Yeah. For once, G's actually had the good end of the stick, hasn't he?
True.
Because it always feels like G's always the one who's on the bad end of the stick.
He's long been waiting for another podium for his belt. And there it is, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Still have a long way to go.
Absolutely. So let's see. But currently, the race has settled down and has taken a bit of place. Obviously, we've got a bit of a battle here between Cassidy in fourth, and I believe that's G in third. As it stands, that is the closest battle on the track currently. I say that, but Swordfish is having a go at Sergio Verismo. But this is our battle for the final spot on the podium. But if it would be possible to go on board with Swordfish, because it seems as though him and Sergio Verismo are having an incredible battle for 8th place, I would like to say. So, see if our cameraman can show us the onboard. There we go. So a bit of a train here, Kenjake, isn't it? So we've got Sergio right behind. We've got Sergio heading this train. That's Suchi in front of him. We've got Swordfish, the Carita's owner, and we've got Naft sliding it down the inside into the final the Parabolicum. Nothing doing there. And I think Sergio Verismo should have the exit. Getting used to all the new names here, Kenjake, as you can tell. So as you see Sergio now pulling into the pit lane. Yeah, he's diving into the pit. So Naf and Sword have been released at this point. You've got Lorenzo right behind them. So let's see what happens. Going for the undercut strategy on the two in front of him. And yeah, let's see what happens. Seems as though Rashi, the Turkish driver, lost his electricity. So a lot of bad luck happening here, Kenjake. Some drivers losing electricity, all sorts of mayhem happening. And while all that's been happening, the bus is still 10 seconds behind, so the bus can still win this race, Kenjake. If he can just use his head and keep that gap within 10 seconds, he is still in the box seat to win this race.
You really have to imply using his head there.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. We're just about almost halfway through the race currently. Scooby obviously, his best lap's a 57.1 and he did a 57.2 last time around. The bus was a tenth quicker on that lap actually last time around. So those two, Kenjake, I'll tell you, those two are miles ahead of the pack when you look at the lap times. I mean, Rohe's the only one on a 57, but he's on a high 57 on the back of the pack. So these two have separated. Once again, it seems as though it's going to be a case of what if for Rohe.
Exactly.
And if he finishes outside the top 10, Kenjake, he won't be a beneficiary of the reverse grid race either.
Exactly. So yes, a lot of work to do for this race. We still have a long way to go. And yeah, as you said, strategy also plays a large amount in these kinds of races, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens with strategy. Yeah, like I said, ACSM is pretty buggy because it's not telling me who's pitted yet, so who hasn't. So it's pretty hard to keep a track of strategy of 20 drivers. We'll try to give their best intel to you because we obviously cannot tell if they've run into incidents. But by the end of the race, we will know. But all I know right now is Scooby still has the advantage, and he stretched it out last time around. He did. Kenjake, do you want to know something?
Yes.
He did a 56 flat on his last lap.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, that's a mega
56 flat. 9/10. I think Scooby knows what's coming in front of him. He knows the deal. He knows the penalty coming, and he's pushing. He's pushing like mad out there right now because a 56 flat in race trim is incredible.
So I tell you what, 56 flat. I think it's already even more than what you're expecting to have in a qualifying time on average.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about qualifying, Kenjake, that's faster than his qualifying lap. I'm pretty sure. The bus and Rohe were the only ones who went sub 56 in qualifying, and I'm pretty sure Scooby did a 56.1 or a 56.2 for him to do a 56 flat in race trim. Incredible.
He has entered a state of mind that we cannot see.
Yeah, he's in that zone as athletes, Kenjake. I did a lot of athletics back in the day, and there's that thing when you get in the zone, you're just so zoned in. It's like a tunnel, and I believe Scooby is in that zone right now. Anyways, we've got Suchi here challenging Not Sam for 6th place. Will he send it down the inside of Ascari? Let's find out. Keep it clean, boys. He's Suchi, I believe Not Sam just let him go there. He realized the situation. If they both, Ascari's not a corner to be going side by side into.
Exactly.
So.
And where is Sam? There he is on the grass. There might be.
Yeah, he went on the grass. Yeah, not ideal. And Naf's going to be right hot in the heels because Naf's going to be having the speed overlap going into Parabolic. So let's see. There you go. There he goes. Called it. He had the speed overlap. So did he have a moment mid-corner which made him lose so much exit speed? Not sure, but
I might have suspected that there's a bit of contact from being side by side.
I know I'm talking about Scooby's pace again, and I'm sorry, but we have to appreciate what he's doing. Kenjake, he did a 56.2 again on the last lap. He is sending it. He's now 12 seconds ahead. he's getting to a point where even a 10-second penalty will not stop him from winning this
Yeah,
race.
he definitely knows that there is something coming, so he's responding. He's responding
Yeah,
well.
he's stepping up. Like I told you, Kendrick, he's a seasoned veteran, so he knows what he's doing. Elsewhere, back in the field, we've got the previous two league champions. We've got the season 6 champion, we've got the season 5 champion, fighting for 6th and 7th, Kendrick, which shows the competition this season has clearly stepped up. That we've got the 2 defending champions not even fighting for the minor podium places right now.
That and Slushy Cat, what a name to behold. These guys have been running with each other since the 2 seasons, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, these two battled back in season 5 when we did the GT3 league. They ran a bit last season. Obviously, last season wasn't the best. Cat was probably the only one who was running, but these two had some battles, obviously, in season 5. So
Here we go. We're about to see the true potential of these guys.
someone's got white behind them. I think it's Thomas Frank.
Right, yeah.
Thomas Frank had a brake issue which caused a few people to retire. So I wonder if he's having those lingering brake issues still. We'll only know post-race whether he's still having those lingering issues. But yeah, he's not having a good time out there
Even
currently.
with those issues with he's still at 8th place, so not bad for me.
Yeah. Race leader Scooby is into the pit lane, Kendrick. So Scooby is currently into the pit lane. Let's see if the bus is going to respond.
And Thomas Frank,
seems
I
as though-
think it's just sitting behind.
Yeah, he's had a big moment there. Rohe will end up gaining a place. Finally, some good fortune, but at the expense of Thomas Frank. Rohe's up another place, but yeah, that's unfortunate for him. There you go.
There you go,
Swordfish.
Rohe, that was
He
8th
should-
place.
Yeah, Swordfish should have the speed overlap, but I don't think he's going to have enough of a speed overlap to challenge him into Parabolica. But Thomas Frank may have very severely overheated tires, which may compromise him ever so slightly. But we've got the bus again back in the lead. Scooby's already made his pit stop, which tells me, Kendrick, that the bus will put in less fuel when he does stop.
Game on,
G's
he
currently
says.
still holding second. Yeah, so G's still holding second. We've got Brad M and Naf battling currently for... No, sorry, that would be... No, Brad M, I think, has gone into the pit lane now, so... Let's see. A lot of people pitting as with 8 minutes to go. If my math serves me correct, Kendrick, about 5 laps of racing left. So...
I hope your
Let's
math
not
is
forget,
correct.
Kendrick. Let's not forget, Kendrick. The gap might be 12.5 seconds before they made their pit stop. But if there is a way that the bus can make up 2.5 seconds by putting in less fuel, it may play into his hands. You know,
Yeah.
it may play into his hands, and depending on how closely Scooby can. It seems as though Lorenzo's had a big moment into Ascari. He's sideways. He's correcting himself now, but he spun out again. I can see it on the live timing. Not by
Hopefully he doesn't collect the other drivers in the process.
No, well, the bus is heading right towards him, so I'm pretty sure the bus will be able to navigate through it. But I'm looking at the sector times on this outlap, Kendrick, and Scooby and the bus have had pretty similar second sector. Scooby was 300ths faster on that lap. Let's see at the end of the final sector. So Tim Stahl, the bus, has done 37.1 on this current lap. Let's see what the Scooby does as he crosses the line now, very shortly. Scooby has done he's still crossing the line. 41.2, Kendrick. 41.2. Scooby has lost 4 seconds in the final sector. It's the game on once again. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he's lost 4 seconds, but the bus once again looking in a good position. This time it's his turn to use the clean air, Kendrick. Before it was Scooby's turn to use the clean air. Now it's his turn to use the clean air. He has to run. And
Yes.
it seems as though G's had a moment. Well, G's had a moment. What's happened?
He's on the
That's-
pits. Maybe teleported back to the pits, probably.
Oh, there. Let me check in with what happened with G. But G's had a moment in the pits. I'm asking on the server chat, like, what's happened?
On the chat, he's saying that he's having a problem in the pits.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That is really, really unfortunate. He can't exit the pits because his stuff's not changing. Is that what's happening?
Probably we should have more insight towards that.
Yeah. Also, Kendrick, I have a feeling that the sector times. Actually, no. I think Scooby's having moments, Kenjake. I'm looking at live timing now. The bus has got a huge gap. Scooby's just exiting Lesmo 2 now. The bus is already at Ascari. Not Ascari, Parabolica.
Now what's going on? Maybe he's not confident with Paris as of the moment.
And I wonder if Rohe pitted early, Kenjake, after that mayhem, because Rohe is right behind Scooby. We'll know surely. Yeah, he's right behind, so I wonder if Rohe employed that undercut strategy, put in less fuel early in the race, and now he's just chilling up front. But we'll see what happens. 5 minutes to go. So if we run the maths here, Kenjake, it should be 3 laps plus 1, 4 laps left. Because it'll have plus 1 once the timer runs out. 4 laps of racing left at Monza, by my calculations. And as it stands, the bus on his debut league race is leading the way. But Scooby's there, but I don't know. By the time the bus pits, we've seen it in the test races. If you pit late, you come out super early.
Yeah, exactly. Something's going on.
Very, very nerve-wracking stuff right now. On that previous lap, Kenjake, the bus did a 57.8. Let's see what Scooby does as he crosses the line now. Oh, he just crossed the line.
He just crossed it already.
It says his last lap was a 2:12.
2:12?
What? Yeah, that's what my timing sheet says, yeah.
Can we go on board with Scooby?
Yeah, Kenjake, can we go on board, Hydro, with Scooby?
On this last lap, it is confirmed that this 2:12, something is going on indeed. Something is not working well with him, and he pitted twice.
Yeah, there you go. We can see the timing. There it is. 2:12, 2:25, 2 minutes. My eyes were not deceiving me. And this win, Kenjake, is slipping away from his hands. Because let's not forget, he's probably got a 10-second time penalty coming his way at the end of the race as well.
He might not even qualify for a podium.
No, not at all. I wonder what's happened to Scooby. Oh my goodness, it seems as though almost everybody's run into drama this afternoon in one form or another, have they? No one's had a clean race. And as it stands, the race winner wouldn't have a clean race. The race winner would have spun at Ascari on the second lap. And it seems as though he's still going to win the race. Potential race winner, I should add. Potential race winner.
It's still far off the road. The guy in first place, still far off the road.
Oh yeah. So let's see what happens, because I believe the bus is in the pit lane right now. I can't really tell.
Yeah, he is in the pits.
He is in the...
Yeah.
Let's see where he exits out. That's someone else exiting the pit lane currently.
He's just exiting right now, and Scooby is hot behind his heels.
Yeah, Scooby's hot behind his wheels, but let's not forget, Kenjake, he will have a 10-second time penalty.
And
tell you what though, it's Rohe.
He's
in the box seat to win this race.
Yeah, he might actually win the race.
Rohe might be in the box seat to win the race. I don't think he's pitting again because the pit lane is going to be closed in 13 seconds. Wow, how has that happened?
It might be from
Once again,
pit stop.
the last time, Kenjake, he made the overcut strategy work. This time he's made the undercut work. Wow!
He's really working wonders with strategy, I'll tell you that.
It feels like it doesn't matter what strategy he does. He's gonna win the race. Well, he's gonna be in a position to win.
Yeah, I believe it's also from the incidents.
Yeah, so the bus has just texted me back saying, Kenjake, the bus has retired from this race.
What?
The bus stopped in his pit lane, but it did not register.
Oh my goodness me. Okay, so drama is with everybody here.
Wow! Once again, drama all round. And the bus, who was in prime position to win this race, has been hard done by the pit stop
what's going on with the pit stop? So G as well didn't have malfunctions with his pit stop.
They stopped in the pit boxes, but it did not register. It did not register.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's going to be something to look.
I do have a culprit for it, maybe.
What?
I'll tell you after the race.
Okay. Sure thing, but you have to feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
For the bus. He did nothing wrong.
Everybody here has prepared for such a long time. preparing the
Yeah,
right
well,
lines and the setups, getting it all to
well,
work
thank,
out.
well, thankfully for the bus, Jake, he will have a reverse grid race. But what's to say that that issue won't happen in the reverse grid race as well? Such
Yeah, you're
unfortunate
correct.
for
Who's
all
to
of the
say
drivers.
that it won't happen in the reverse grid? So yeah, things we still have things to look out for. And
Absolutely.
I'll tell you
So,
what, even I didn't escape the drama.
no, clearly not. We all have had some form of drama this evening, or this morning or afternoon. We've got a lot of Europeans racing with us. So, yeah, no one's escaped the drama. But with 2 laps to go, Kenjay, it seems as though Scooby is gonna win the race on track. But with
Rowe
regards to the
will get
time
the
issue, it
ultimate
seems as,
win.
yeah, if Rohe can just keep it together, he should have this race.
I mean, he
But
doesn't even have to push at this point.
yeah, he should know. He should know. With all his experience, he should know. But Brad M is 18 seconds behind, 17 and a half. So Scooby should still finish in second place as things stand. And as you can see, Rohe is ever so slightly off. I think he may realize the situation in hand currently. And I hope, really, really hope, for Rohe's sake, he can just keep it clean for once and actually just win the big one. He's had so much bad luck. It feels as though he's always in these positions, but through one form, sometimes through his fault or not his fault, he's always been one who's taken out or has taken himself out. So, with 1 lap to go, Ken Jake, what's going to happen? I don't know, Ken Jake. Considering how this race has gone, I don't know how this race is going to end, but we'll find out very
I
shortly
wouldn't
as
want
we
to
go
react
on
to it as
to.
well.
If we go on to the final lap, Scooby will start the final lap with Rohe 3.5 seconds behind him with a 10-second time penalty coming the way of Scooby. Rohe in the box seat to win this race. He can give up 6.5 seconds, Kenjake, theoretically, and still win this race. Just keep it together, Rohe. As we enter the final lap, Brad M will start the final lap in the final podium's position, 18 seconds behind with Naf in fourth. Cassidy is having an almighty battle with Naf for can we go on board with Cassini there here, Hydra? Because it seems as though these two are having an incredible battle. We'll keep an eye on Scooby and that gap between Rohe, but they're 3 seconds apart, but it's looking good.
Still too
Cassini
far away to make a
seems
lunch.
yeah, Cassini has the pace advantage. He was almost a second faster on the previous lap, but Nat does have the Nat has the track position rather. And contrary to popular belief, Kenjay, Monza is actually not that easy to overtake. It's not. Like if you ask any fan or any sort of driver, what's the easiest track to overtake? They will always say Monza. But when you actually drive the track and you see it IRL as well, you realize that, you know what? Monza is actually not that easy to overtake in.
It's only easy when you have DRS.
Absolutely. This is the closest battle in the top 10, but I think Naf is doing just enough to fend them off. Splashy Cat is currently in 6th, 12.5 seconds behind, so she won't be bothering these two. But it seems as though Naf has weathered the storm. Let's not forget, he is the champion. He's a Season 5 champion. He has some experience. But let's go back on board with Scooby as he goes down towards Parabolica for the final time in race 1. It's been an incredible drive from those two. Apart from that little incident they had, Kenjay, these two have kept it clean. Let's go on board with Scooby, shall we now, Hydra, because he is rounding the final corner now. It's been an incredible drive. 4.2 seconds up the road. Sadly for him, Kenjay, if Rohit can navigate his way through the final corner, which it seems as though he has done, Scooby will win the race on track. But guess what? The king of Monza has struck. Is going to be Rohit, who's going to take the win here in race 1 of season 7. Long overdue. Rohe will win the race after Scooby's time penalty will be applied. Well done to Rohe. Scooby should still finish in 2nd place. Adam will be a distant third, 18.5 seconds behind. Nat
I'll
will
tell
be
you what, the
looking
Singaporean is in 3rd place.
Yeah, and it seems as though Cassini once again is right hot on Nationals. They were almost side by side going across the line. Yeah, it was almost a drag race. Naf had the track position and he held them up. Sashi Kat, the defending series champion, will come home in 6th place. Not a great showing for her, and she will obviously hope that the reverse grid race goes a lot better by her standards. Joshua Lee will come in 7th. Julia Brown will have done well to get 8th place in her. She's done a few league races, hasn't she?
Okay,
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, Hydro, give your comments.
Thomas Frank in 9th, and Swordfish, the Caritas owner, will cross the line in 10th place to gain a singular point.
We'll be starting first in the reverse grid.
Yes, good point. Good point, Kendrick. The Corritos owner will be starting this the second race on pole position.
Will he receive the Artito special?
Well, I was just gonna say, Kendrick, you know what's better than lap one turn one Monzas? Two lap one turn one Monzas. And guess what? Technically it's not the second one, is it, Kendrick? It's gotta be the third one. Because we had to restart the first time around.
That's indeed correct.
So just to round off the results for you guys, it's going to be Rohir who wins the race. Scooby won it on track, but will have a 10-second time penalty for the incident that happened at turn 1. Scooby will finish off in second. Brad M will round off the final podium position with Naf in fourth and Cassidy in fifth. Sashikat 6, Josh Gurley 7, Julia Brown 8, Thomas Frank in 9th, and Swordfish rounding out the top. And rotten luck for some of the front contenders who should have been up there, namely G and the bus. Got really, really hard done by the pit stop, and it seems as though that pit stop won. Yeah, so I'm going to break the news to Rohit.
Rohit Robinson, you are the race winner. Congratulations. Get in there. It was also a solid effort from Scooby, so we can't say no to its effort there. It did respond.
No, let's not forget he was his fastest lap, Kendrick, was almost a second quicker than almost everybody else. What did the bus do as his fastest lap? 7/10. He was 7/10 quicker than anybody else on one lap during that race, and you can clearly tell that over the race as well, he had a clear pace advantage over everybody else. That's what caused the bus to chase so hard, because the bus probably felt like even with a penalty looming, he had to push to keep up with them. You never know.
Yeah, you
and
never know
that pace is probably what instigated that issue. So what can I say? It's racing, Kendrick, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna have 20 races, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget, for this season, we've got 2 races, 10 rounds, 20 races. That's just race 1. We've got 19 more coming, with the second one coming in a few minutes' time, and I cannot wait, because you know what they say, the reverse grid races are even more chaos than the first one, and yeah, this one's gonna be. I am expecting some proper NASCAR level of dive bombing like they do at COTA in Indy when they send it from 50 meters back. So I'm expecting some of that, that's for sure.
We have technical analysis from Hydro.
He's our cameraman. We'll let him do his job. He's doing a pretty good job at being the cameraman. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this race ends up. And the bus is absolutely blowing up my DMs. He's not happy. And I cannot blame him, and G's probably not happy either. So there's something that we have to look into, Kendrick, after this race and during the week, is how can we improve this? Because we cannot have this happening every weekend. And
should I disclose it in the camera?
What do you mean?
Should I mention what my main culprit is? It's just a guess.
We'll think about that later on, Kendrick. But guess what? We're getting ready for the reverse grid race, which should start in 10 seconds time. Can we go on board with the pole sitter Swordfish for this start here, Hydro? As the 6 red lights will start to go up very shortly. There they are. It's going to be Swordfish who's going to line up on pole position with Thomas Frank right alongside him. And then shortly the lights will go out. There it is for the second race here for round 1. It's go. Swordfish gets an incredible start. Julia Brown will be up in second place. Great start. And hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to turn 1 once again, barreling along. It's going to be Swordfish leading the way. Can he hold the lead through the exit of turn 1? Julia Brown. He's gonna hurt absolute send into turn 1. Oh, the bus is gone!
Brad
Oh dear, Roy is involved, G is involved, Brad not a big hitters there, but it seems as though they're going to continue. I'm not sure what's gonna happen here,
once
but
again rotted lock.
Oh, it seems as oh my god.
That must be a tornado. Someone is going in reverse.
I'm going to have to review all these footages after the race, because we know from previous seasons, Kendrick, even if we do have a restart, we tend to look into the incidents, and sometimes we're going to give penalties even if the race was restarted. So, oh my god, guys, keep it clean. It's not that difficult. I've seen cleaner turn once on I've seen cleaner turn once in the Europe 2 Monza server sometimes, when we all go on at night. So not ideal, but let's hope second time around is better. So 10 seconds to go. The 6 red lights will start to go off now. There they are, 6 red lights. It's going to be Swordfish once again, leading the way. It took us 2 goes to get going in race 1. Is it going to be the same? Or are we going to need the third time? Let's find out. This time, Julia Brown gets an incredible start from 3rd place. She will be right alongside Swordfish going to turn number 1. And we know that last time... Yeah, they're going for... it's not going to end well, is it? There's going to be some sort of contact. Hold it together. Here we go! There it is! Oh my goodness.
Everybody's blocking the way! This is not the ideal start.
I'm sorry, it's meant to be positional, but oh my goodness me!
You know what I'm about to say? This is slick racing, okay? And I'm expecting a whole lot from these drivers.
Final restart. That's my vote. This is going to be the final restart.
Hydro, you can actually start the race and go to the pits immediately.
So...
Pressing the pit button doesn't work.
Really?
Here you go, you guys. All the streamers got a live Hydro voice reveal.
Yeah.
One day we might get a face reveal, who knows. But here we go. The 6 red lights will start to go off again very shortly. Kenji, let's hope. 3rd time lucky this time. Race 2, round 1.
Fingers
Once
are
again.
crossed.
Here we go. Don't go full wide. It's going to be lights out. And away we go. Once again, Julia Brown with an incredible start. She's been getting incredible starts. And once again,
I
going to be
love
right
the
at the
start,
place.
yeah.
Yeah, those are Alonso stars on the clean side of the grid. Let's not forget that Swords also got the clean side of the grid. Oh, someone's already on the cars. Yeah, he's on the same side of the
Somebody's going around. Julia Brown's around. Josh Willie as well.
Oh my god, I saw somebody send it down the inside of turn 1. Swordfish has gone around as well.
Yeah, somebody's bouncing. Everybody's bouncing off track.
Oh, unfortunate. Swordfish will get absolutely shafted with that. The Carita's owner, Kenjake, has gone from pole position to last at the end of turn 1. Just about sums up another day when it comes to a Monza League race. But
Monza is just have its specialties. And
G! Joshua Lee got tagged by G, and oh my goodness, guys, keep it clean! Just saved it, yeah. I think he hit the bumper in the right part of the track, but it seems as though, let's go on board. Is Julia Brown leading this race, Hydro? Let's find out. Oh, cars around. Who is that?
Somebody's around.
Someone's gone around. Someone's gone around. Is that the Lesbos? It may have been the bus. The bus has probably gone around.
Yeah, it is. It is the bus. He's in dead last at the moment.
Once again. Oh my goodness. The bus once again. If I was the bus, I would pit right now and absolutely get the undercut cleaner and use some of that pace. He's got no point now fighting with guys like, Rashi. He's got the pace over. But yeah, Julia Brown leads the way. Thomas Frank in second. Third is Cassidy. Fourth is Sashi Cat. So Sashi's done well to navigate through that. Rohei will be, Scooby will be in fifth. Let's see how he copes with the second race. And important to remind our viewers that for this season, the second race will have 10 points for the winner instead of 25 with an absolute send. As I say that from the bus going into Parabolica makes it stick, and you can tell he's probably not happy. So let's see if he dives into pit lane to go for the undercut strat. Is he going to? No, he's not. He's going to keep going, but he's going to have to fight Rashi off. This is what I said. He's losing time doing this, Kenji. Well, yeah, he's going to lose time doing this. He does not have to do this. He can just pit. But we'll see what happens. But oh my god,
is spinning.
Big moment into turn number 1. It seems as Swords had a moment. Miko's had a moment there as well, I think, hasn't he?
I can hear grass everywhere. I think there's problem in turn 1. Somebody's spinning once again.
Yeah, big moments. I mean, I feel like everyone's having moments. There's, oh my god, someone there. Is that? Who's that right on the inside?
Right there, another contact.
That's contact. Guys, let's not use our cars as weapons as we go to the Belarus chicane.
That's not looking good.
The bus. G's around.
G's around.
Yeah, G's around. He's gone around.
Oh my goodness me. Oh,
Sergio, the Spanish driver's gone around.
There's a lot of incidents going at the back at the moment.
Absolutely unfortunate.
Tim Stahl finally free from the clutches of the Turkish driver.
Yeah. Let's go on board with Scooby, please, Hydro, because I think Scooby is having an incredible battle here with Sashika for 5th place. Here we go. These two should have the pace advantage. Yeah, these two should have the pace advantage of all the 4 or 3 drivers in front of them. So this is going to be an important move going for Scooby going into the final corner. Slushy. Oh, is he getting squeezed off there? No. No, it's much better for him to back off there. Who is Cassidy going to give the slipstream to? Let's find out. Which line does Cassidy take? He's going to be on the inside, so that means Cat's going to get the slipstream. But, yeah, you see, that slipstream from Cassidy made a big difference because now Scooby's not alongside Cat anymore.
He might dive, though.
Yeah, he will go for a move into turn number 1 there. Can Cat hang it around the outside, which becomes the inside for turn 2. Here we go, Scooby down the inside. Oh, he gets contact once again going into turn number 1. Oh my goodness! What was that? Someone hit Scooby from behind. Was that Joshua Lee?
No, it's
or was that Brad M? Oh, Brad M. Oh my goodness, Scooby is probably not believing his luck right now. He messed up the braking point going into turn number 1. And once he corrected the car himself, he got spun out by someone out of control already. Absolute mayhem. Kenjay, this race reminds me a lot of Phillip Island if you remember back to season 5.
What I'm seeing.
Brad M once again just completely overshot. Oh my goodness me.
That was a long slide from turn 1.
Oh my goodness. Let's go on board now with Thomas Frank, please, Hydra, because it seems as though Thomas now it seems as though it's starting to put the pressure on Julia Brown ever so slightly before the race when Julia Brown has controlled this race from the start. So I keep saying she's a rookie. She's technically not a rookie. I believe she's done a few starts before this. So, a bit of a lag spike there, I think, there, Kenjay.
Yeah, it might have been, but he's getting closer. I think Frank just made the corner right. Even better than Julia Brown.
Yeah, it's important to note that Thomas did have some brake issues in the previous race. So, it's going to be interesting to see if that carries over for the sake of himself and the other drivers around him. I hope it doesn't. So, yeah, let's see what happens. But at the end of lap 3, I think is what it is. Or lap 4? Yeah, at the end of lap 3, as you can tell from the timer on the right-hand side of the screen, Julia Brown will still be leading the race, but Thomas Frank right behind him. We've seen so many incidents into turn number 1, Ken Jake, already this afternoon and this evening, wherever you are. And it wouldn't surprise me if we saw another. Hope not, but here we go. Battle for the lead with Flashy Cat right behind. 2.5 seconds. These two start battling. Yeah. These two start battling. The defending series champion is going to be right hot on the heels.
Yeah.
And Kenjake, what do I say? I know it's only race. Oh, Rohe is overshot turn 1.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, Rohe really overshot turn 1. That's not put him into the clutches of screeching ever so slightly, but I think he should be alright. So, yeah.
So you were mentioning.
Incredible. Yeah, I was mentioning that I know it's race 1, Kenjake. It doesn't matter much, but you win a championship over a season. Every single point counts from race 1 all the way to the final race.
I actually believe that as well.
Counts.
Yes, that is true. That is indeed true. You make the most of every races you have.
Exactly. You win the championship over a race. You cannot. If you do want to have mistakes, though, Kenjake, you would rather make them now than the final few races because you will have more races to claw back any deficit compared to the final few races. But
I rather make no mistakes.
Yeah, when you're fighting against some of the best drivers in Asia and Europe, which honestly I don't know because we've seen so many incidents in the turn number 1. But let's not forget that these are some of the best sim races on the Cedric Costa at this part of the world. So. Yeah, every single point will matter. This will be a highly contested season. I believe this will be our strongest season, Kenjake, since season 1.
I'll tell you what though, Frank is not having a good time. He's chasing down Julia Brown in front, but he has to look on the rear view mirror because Slushy Cat is hot on his heels.
Yeah, Slushy Cat is surrounded in a bit of a sandwich right now, isn't he? He doesn't seem. Oh, Julia Brown's pitting. Julia Brown's going for the massive undercut, so Thomas Frank will inherit the race lead. So Julia Brown, probably a wise move, seeing how close Slushy Cat was following those two. that might end up being a good strategy call because now Slushy Cat might lose a bit of time battling with Thomas Frank. Whereas if she comes out in clean air, she can use that clean air to try and make some dent into. Try and make some dent.
Went wide there. There it goes.
Yeah, try and make some dent into the overall race time on Slushy Cat. But the important thing to note is if Thomas Frank does stuff like that, Cat will probably find her way past, even without Thomas fighting it. So let's see what happens as we go into the Della Rosa chicane. Can Cat line up a move going to turn number 4? The answer to that is
it is happening right now.
Gonna be on the outside. Thomas Frank takes a tight defensive line. Cat's gonna have to exit. She couldn't get the car rotated mid-corner. She missed the apex there at turn 5, which is quite surprising considering she had the outside going to turn number 4. I have a feeling she just could not rotate the car mid-corner for whatever reason.
I'll tell you what, that Aston Martin is not really an agile car. It's really slightly on the rear.
Yeah, maybe that's why. Maybe she had a bit of opposite block going into the corner. Maybe that's what stopped her from rotating the car mid-corner. So, see what happens. But at the moment, Thomas Frank leading the way. And I can tell you, Kenjay, that Julia Brown has come out in a bit of clean air. She does have a bit of clean air. Like, she's got Lorenzo in front of him, 5 seconds ahead of her. So, she does have clean air. Let's see what she can do with it. As you can see, Tim Stowell, the bus, has got the fastest lap currently with a 56.5. He's currently down in 11th place. I hope for his sake that he does not have the same pit issues this time around, but we'll see. We'll see.
Frank is really
As the race now, ladies and gentlemen, slowly starts to take shape. It obviously always takes a few laps for the race to start taking shape, and you can see the clear picture. But currently, Thomas Frank leads the way with Slushy Cat in 2nd place, Rohei in 3rd place. So once again, Rohei's found a way after all that mayhem to be up in 3rd place. So good for him. Really happy for him. Let's hope he can keep it there. But the French driver once again leading the way. Absolutely murdering turn 1, isn't he there, Kenjay?
Yeah.
A big liberty with the track limit. So, yeah.
How did he
Tell you what, though,
survive?
Tell you what though, Kat has not really been closing in the same way I thought that she would be.
Exactly. Maybe I have too much expectations.
Yeah, let's go on board with Vanja topic, can we please? Let's go on board with the bus, please. Hydro, because the bus and Miko are having an incredible battle. There they are. Miko, important that Miko has to serve a best lap time, guys. He did a 54.9. I know that was with the track abusing, but Miko is insanely quick with these cars. And let's not forget, we've not seen Miko for a while, but he's also a seasoned veteran.
Yeah,
he was here. He was one of the pro.
Yeah, he's been here with us ever since with the GT cars and the Fast Boy races. Not to mention the Formula 3, which was actually
and also,
quite recent.
Yeah, and let's not forget that he was also a runner-up in Season 4 behind Alessia Siri. He beat Ballista in Season 4, fair and square.
That is
so
true.
he's got a lot of driving talent and pedigree under his belt. So, and as you can see, currently the bus not really able to live with the pace. Kenjay, the bus was 3/10 slower in Sector 1 alone, chasing down Miko. But this is good for the bus. He can kind of see what Miko is doing in front of him, and he can apply that to himself and maybe find a way to claw back some places that he may have lost. To see what happens. But yeah, Miko's got a track position, and Miko's just at the fastest middle sector as well on that current lap, Kendrick, 37.4, and he found 8/10 on Tim, the bus, in that sector. So, wow, incredible.
Yeah, I know. There's something in when you're the fastest guy out there and you're caught in the middle of all this mess. I believe it's really hard to claw back all the pace that you know.
And in other news, Kendrick, on this current performance, I'm seeing Thomas Frank, the race leader, did a 56.9 with Slushy Cat in second place with a 57.7. Thomas Frank actually has pace this year for the second race, and Julia Brown will come over the line shortly. We'll see what Julia Brown's lap time is this time around. She was a bit slower in sector 2. Let's see. Julia Brown's last lap was a 59 flat. That's not going to be good enough for her. She's going to lose the track position. She needs to pick up a pace. Very tricky, Kenjay. This is becoming a 2-horse race between Thomas Frank and Slushy Cat for the win this evening. Or afternoon. Once again, doesn't matter where you are in this part of the world. It's a worldwide championship. Wherever you are in this part, whichever part of the world, it's a two-horse race, as it seems, for the win. But you never know with certain pit strategies when they come out. It's very difficult to keep a track on pit strategies currently because there's not a way to tell if someone's pitted or not. So you can't tell if they pitted on X lap. So we'll try to work on that, Kenjay. Try and see if we can find an app that tells us if someone has pitted for the future races because it can really help us with tracking strategy. But here we go, on board with, I believe, Miko, who's chasing down the Singaporean Brad M right in front of him. And he will like to make that move very quickly because definitely, you can tell, I don't have to tell you, he has a massive pace advantage over Brad M currently.
And that is true. Miko is just one of those drivers who are fairly quick.
He is, and there you go. He's going for a move down the outside of Parabolica. Brad M would stop. If I was Brad M, I would not bother fighting that. It's just going to cost himself, important race time. So there you go. Brad M, I think Miko backed off there, didn't he? Because Brad M is still in front of him. So the issue is when you fight with someone that much faster than you in the middle of a race, it's almost inevitable that person is going to pass you. Unless it's for the win, you're compromising your own race time.
Yeah, it's better to let him go.
Yeah, but unless it's for the win, in which case you fight absolutely tooth and nail, or unless it's towards the end of the race where every position and points matter, I wouldn't bother fighting it because you just end up losing time. But it seems as though Miko, I think Brad M pitted, didn't they? Because now Miko's got clean air in front of him. So, and look at that fastest lap from Miko there, 56 flat, incredible.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. The experience is now showing.
Yeah, it really is. He's currently about 15 seconds behind the race leader, so I don't think he'll be challenging for the win. But I mean, podium? Never know. We'll see. About 10 seconds behind Rohe currently, approximately. So wouldn't count him out of the podium just yet, the Filipino driver. So as you can see, Rohe, Miko's just in Lesmo too. Let's go on board with Rohe to find out where he is in relation on the racetrack. Rohe's just going to Ascari. There you go, Kenjay. About a straightaway over towards Ascari. Not out of the question considering how fast Miko has been this afternoon.
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
No, what I said was when we just panned out the camera ever so slightly, Rohe was at the end of the back straight going into Ascari, whereas Miko was just exiting Lesmo 2. And that's the difference between Miko and a final spot on the podium and 2 cars in between them. But with the pace Miko is showing, what I'm trying to say is a podium's not out of the question.
Yeah, that is true. They still haven't pitted yet, correct?
No, and it seems as though Thomas Frank's probably in the pit lane currently.
Yeah, he is in the pit lane, and Cassidy.
Yeah, Sashi Cat now inherits the race lead. So let's see what Cat does with her strategy. Is she going to run super long into the race? One thing I will say, Kenjay, this race has flown by. We've only got 8 minutes left. It feels like we just started 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
There's so much action.
It feels like that from all the action. We're quite enjoying this
With all the action. Yeah, it's been really, really fun to commentate. And yeah, I'm going to need a big drink after this race, that's for sure. My voice will probably be a bit sore tomorrow with Kindred Garlic not here. I'm having to bring out the excitement, so I'm not the most excited person in the world, because if you can remember back in the previous seasons, I was just a technical analyzer when it came to commentary. I have to take a bit of the energetic role as well, so adapting, adapting. Big shoes to fill. I don't think I can fill his big shoes, but size are too smaller? Maybe. That was a horrible analogy, buddy.
Innuendos are starting to appear.
Sorry?
Innuendos are starting to appear now.
Yeah, big innuendos. So let's go on board now with Miko, shall we, Hydro? Because it seems as though he's just about a second behind. Yeah, he's getting really, really close to NAF. You can see that gap is starting to shrink ever so slightly. And look at the bus. He's found... Miko have a bit of a moment somewhere in that lap, because the bus has found a way to close that gap really, really quickly. So
yes,
the bus on the last lap did a 56.3, whereas Miko did a 56.6. So you're getting 3/10 on that lap. So the bus finding a bit of pace. Yes. Unfortunately for them, fortunately for them rather, the race 2. Well, I don't know. It won't be fortunately for Miko because he wins race 1, but for the bus, whoever's ahead of him won't get as many points because let's not forget, race 2. in this season has less points give out. It's not the full 25 for the race winner. It scales from 10 down to 1 from
it's
first
really
and 10.
close.
Yeah, he's close. He's gonna probably have a go into turn 1 unless he's got a significant.
Yeah, he
Let's
has to
not
do this
forget.
quickly now. Because he
Yeah, he
is
has to do this
under
quickly.
pressure from the bus.
Yeah, and we know from previous seasons, Kenjake, that Nap is not someone who's afraid to get his elbows up. He is hard, but he is fair. As he going to turn number 1, Nico will have the outside. He's going to have the speed overlap, but Nap will have the inside line. Can he keep it down the inside? Nico makes it stick. Great move. Like I said, Nap, he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. And now Nap's going to have the bus on his heels. Let's now go on board with the bus to see if he can find a way past Nap. If the bus wants to beat Nico, he needs to get this overtake done quick, because the longer he spends behind Nap, it's going to give Nico even more time to just run away.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Naf could be the buffer between these two, but let's see.
Yeah, let's see indeed. So currently got just under 6 minutes on the clock. So Rohe, I believe that Slushy Cat pitted Kenjake, and Slushy Cat has come out. Slushy Cat's come out well behind Thomas Frank. Yeah, Thomas Frank in 5th. So we lost track of that battle while we were watching the battle down the pack.
That's pretty close. That's too much.
Yeah, big sense. But I'm trying to look at the gap between. Yeah, big gap between. Cassidy's 12 seconds behind. Woodfish. Slushy Cat, I think, is going for a move here on Woodfish. And has he made the move stick? Let's find out. Can't really tell, because we're watching the battle currently on the screen, but here we go. The bus has got a significant speed overlap here. He's gonna have the momentum. You know, the bus was not gonna wait. He's gonna go for it. He reminds me of a young Max Verstappen. He wants every move as soon as possible. He's gonna have the outside going to parabol. Okay, is he gonna make a stick, or is he gonna do the crisscross and line it up with turn number 1? Let's find out.
Not.
Oh, he makes it.
The outside.
Wow.
That's a great
Parabolica. Yeah, but Nav's gonna have the slipstream though. I don't know if that was wise, but we'll see what happens. Nav's gonna have the slipstream going into turn number 1. Let's see if he can find a way back down the inside.
Nav dives into the pit, so Tim Stall is in first place actually.
Yeah. Wow. So here we go. We've got 5 minutes left on the clock, I think. Less than 5 now, 4:38. So
if I was for Tim Stall.
Yeah. So the bus currently is 10 seconds ahead of Rohe.
But he
and
still
about
has to pit.
17 and a half seconds ahead of Thomas Frank. Where is he going to come out? He actually may come out ahead of Slushy Cat out of all this, Kenjake. This is fun, isn't it, Kenjake? You cannot tell how these pit strategies will work out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a guessing game every time.
Yeah, it was just fun for us viewers, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's not that fun for the drivers, but great fun for us.
I wish I
it keeps on the edge of us.
I wish I had telemetry for this, so I would know the predictions.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully it's not an AWS prediction, because we know those things are pretty broken. 3 minutes and 43 seconds left in the second and final race this weekend, and the bus leads the way 11 seconds ahead of Rohe. Do you know if Rohe pitted, Kenjay? Knowing Rohe, he probably hasn't. He's probably going long, isn't he? So
can we go on board with Rohe for a quick glimpse?
Yeah, let's see. Rohe has pitted.
No, he has not.
He's looking. Rohe's pitted, no? Look at the P.
I think it's a
penalty.
Yeah, I think it's a penalty.
So Rohe has not pitted.
Because if you look at maybe you can look at the fuel gauge if it's
okay. Let's go on board with the bus here, please, Hydro, because it seems as though the bus has 20 seconds on Thomas Frank. I really hope that the pit stop bug does not affect him again. He's gone into the pit lane. You can see his speed reducing. Yeah, he's in the pit lane. He's engaged his pit limiter, so that's working for him. Where is he going to come out in relation? Let's find out. Thomas Frank is just. Yeah. Oh, yeah, very good point. I hope he does. Thomas Frank rounding out the final corner. I think he's going to come out and lead here, Kenjay. Can the bus come out of the pit lane? Or does he have the same issue again? There you go. Thomas Frank will inherit the race lead, the effective race lead, because Rohe has not pitted, and I have a feeling that the bug has stuck again.
Oh, that's a bit too long, don't you think?
Yeah, the bug is stuck again. Bus.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
That's definitely
We're gonna have to look at
He's in neutral. Maybe he's in the menu or something.
Yeah, G's had enough. G's left the server as well because, yeah, it's really, really unfortunate.
Probably
With these
pit
pit
stop?
stop. Yeah, I think so.
So he's not
think
moving.
so.
He's
So
on neutral. Maybe he's in the menu or something. 'Cause he's
no,
not
he just
really
says it's
moving.
not working.
Oh,
He just
okay.
says it's not working.
Quite unfortunate for those two drivers, don't you think?
Really, really unfortunate.
It's something you wouldn't want to experience as a competitive driver doing league races.
Let's go on board with Thomas Frank now, shall we, Hydro? Because it seems as though he is in the box seat to win the race, the second race here. Rohei will probably, I believe, he will pit this lap. I tell you what, Kenjake, minute 17 left. I don't think Rohei is pitting again because the pit lane's closed. Rohei might go back to back.
Did he already pit? I don't know.
I have a feeling P is pit, Kenjake. Because look at that. Look at I don't know. Yeah. Can you go on board with Rohei, please? Can you go on board? Because P probably means pit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, he
did
has.
pit,
Look
yeah.
at his lap. Yeah, look at his lap 11. Rohei's gonna go back to back. I think 2 laps to go. Looking good for Rohei. Once again, making a pit strategy work.
It's truly. Wait. I'm not gonna conclude that just yet. We still have 45 seconds.
Yeah, he's still. Please, if Rohei, if you watch his race commentary afterwards, if you do get struck with a commentator's curse, you know who to blame. It was not me. I am innocent.
I don't have that curse. Only you and Garlic has that curse.
Oh my goodness me! 2 laps to go, Kenjake. 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go
And
indeed. Just have to nurse
here
it
we
home
go.
and just cruise to the victory.
Looking to go back to back here. Rohei Robinson, the Iron Will Jamaican. Has Rohei ever gone back to back in Artito? I don't think he has.
I don't think he has.
So, yeah, he's won a few league races before, but I don't think he's going back to back. And what a way to go back to back, and what a way to bounce back after all the issues and the hard luck he's had today. Not just forget all the hard luck he's had before, Kenjay. You know, with all the mistakes he's made in the past, and others collecting him in their mess. Like today, even with all the stuff that's happened to him, like he had turn 1 incidents, like I believe he had a few moments at the Del Rocha chicane, Lesmo. He's made the pit strategy work for him. He's had the pace, and guess what, Kenjay? He's looking good. His last lap was a 57.6, pretty much equal pace with Thomas Frank. 56.8 is his best lap, which I believe is almost the best lap of the race. Oh no, never mind. Miko's best lap was a 56 flat. So the story of what may have been for Miko, isn't it, today? If he could have joined a bit earlier.
Exactly.
It very easily could have been Miko going back to back here instead of Rohei, but you know, this is racing. It's a story of ifs and buts. So sadly, we won't remember that. But I hope that for Miko's case, he can make it next weekend. As we go on to the final lap, Rohei will lead them away for the final lap, and he's going to have approximately a 10-second lead. Absolutely no pressure behind him. He's looking to go back-to-back for the first time in his career at Artito Racing. Got a minute and 56, approximately.
I'll tell you what, though. Jamaicans know how to make fast people.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's on 2 feet, or 4 wheels. It seems that the Jamaicans are always up there when it comes to speed. So Rohei Robinson is going to reach the end of sector number 1. And considering how many laps he's done here, Kenjake, in his storied career on Assetto Corsa, this might feel the longest lap at Monza he's ever done. He's about to go back to back.
Yeah, exactly.
He's about to He's about to open up the season. He's about to open the season off in style. He's about to claim maximum points, at least from the races. I don't think he'll get the extra points for pole position and the fastest lap, but he will pick up the most important points, which are the full points for winning a race. Exactly. So as he rounds off Lesmo for the final time, bit wide there. Huh? Just down. You've got 10 seconds behind you, Rohei. You've got plenty of gap behind you. Elsewhere, just to give our viewers a bit of a recap, Thomas Franks in second. Slushy Cat seems as though will inherit the final spot on the podium. It seems as though Naf and Slushy Cat are having an almighty battle for the final spot on the podium, Kenjake. Let's go on board with Naf really quickly before we cut away to Rohei as he crosses the line. There is Naf right behind. I don't think it's going to be close enough, Kenjake.
No,
we're going to see. Let's
close.
go back on board. Not close enough. Let's go on board. combo with Rohey Robinson. He's weaving. He feels it. Don't get too cocky, Rohey. Please hold it together. Parabolica. Final time. He's done it. The Monza Masters gonna go back to back to open season 7 in what is our biggest league yet. Rohey's gonna make the ultimate statement and go back to back here at Monza. Maximum race points for Rohey. He wins race 2 here. Incredible drive from the Jamaican driver. Thomas Frank will come home to finish second place. Let's go back on board. It seems as though Naf is coming under pressure from Cassidy. Will Cassidy? These two's gonna have a drag race once again going across the line. Has Cassidy done it?
Yeah, no. Nah, that's
Those-
fourth place.
Once again, those two. They finished side by side in the first race, didn't they, Kenjay?
Yeah,
they finished side by
they
side
did,
again. Incredible racing.
Yeah.
So Thomas Frank ended up getting second, Rohey third, and it seems as though
Rohey Robinson has ice on his veins.
he really does. He smells blood, and I know it's too early to tell, but wow, the experienced elder statesman of Artito making a statement to all the young guns that look, I'm here. You know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm taking this championship seriously.
Still
And
the
he-
king of Monza.
Yeah, he is the king of Monza, but I tell you what, Rohey, I tell you what, Kenjay, I have raced with him in these cars before. He is handy. You know, look out this season. We know Rohey's weakness. We know Rohey's weakness a bit is when he goes to new tracks. He takes a bit of time to get up to speed, but if he has the time to practice, look out. You know that he's going to be up there come the end of the season.
Yeah.
Just to give our viewers a bit of a round off then. So Rohey Robinson wins the race for Jamaica. Thomas Frank in second place. Sashi Cat third. Naf in fourth. Cassidy fifth. Once again finishing side by side with Naf. Once again finishing side by side with Naf for minor placing. But Julia Brown in sixth. Miko seventh. Joshua Lee eighth. Brad M ninth. And Sportfish, a story of what may have been, in 10th place. And final closing thoughts from Kenjay as we round off this episode of season 7, race 1. It's been a long day.
Yeah, there's been a lot of drama. There's been a lot of incidents. We still have to check and review what happened with the other races.
We definitely
I'll
need
tell
to
you
review.
what, this is one of the more enjoyable races I have ever watched and commentated. And
Yeah, this has been
Wow.
incredible. It's
I want to watch more. I'm ready for this whole season. What about you?
I am going to. I'm very excited, and I don't think my vocal cords are excited, Kenjay, for the next 9 weeks coming up. But you know, it is what it is.
I
But
don't think my neighbors are
yeah.
excited for me screaming a lot.
absolutely. But yeah, we end the season. It's going to be Rohey who's gone back to back. We'll be back next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We go racing for the first time ever around the Nordschleife. And if you guys
Bring
don't
it
know,
on.
the person who's streaming this race, say he's a bit handy around the Nordschleife. So let's
Yeah.
see if he decides to make a bit of a
Please
guest
do.
appearance at
Yes,
that race.
please do.
We will see whether we will change the race format, because if we do a 25-minute race format around the Nordschleife, it will be only a 4-lap race. So it will be interesting to see if we choose to do a long race with the endurance paints.
I would
endurance
love an
points
endurance race in the
payout.
Nordschleife.
Yeah.
Maybe at least 45
Yeah, especially
minutes.
we've seen obviously with the big turnout. Before we didn't have as much bigger turnout with endurance races, but now with a stable league number of attendees, we might actually consider it. So we'll consider it with the drivers, see what we can do.
I
But
want
we'll
to
let
be
keep you
there.
guys posted on that. We will be there, Kenjay, and trust me, it will be fun. And I don't know how fun it's going to be though to try and find where everyone is on the track, considering how long it is. But we'll do our best. But let's round off this episode of season 7, race 1. I've been flying sane. I've been joined the commentary booth by Kenjay. We've been also we obviously had issues with Kenjay loading up into the server to broadcast this race. So thanks to Hydro who stepped in
Thanks to Hydro.
broadcast. Yeah, and you know, he might step in next weekend into a GT4 on Nordschleife. You never know, and if he does, look out. But we'll be back again next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.